All right, this video is going to give you a lot of hope, not because what CBS News says in the video, but because of the massive response, the massive negative law enforcement response underneath the video. First, I'm going to play the video, and then I'm going to read some comments underneath the video because it sounds a lot like some of you guys have posted your opinions under this CBS propaganda news story. Check this out.
This year, nearly 60 law enforcement officers have been shot in ambush attacks. Officials say it appears to be a growing trend nationwide. Nicole Skanga traveled to Fargo, North Dakota, and spoke with officers who survived a targeted attack there in 2023 that killed a fellow officer.
Central, we got shots fired. Central, we got shots fired.
This is the moment a routine police call turned into an ambush.
We got 3 officers down. 3 officers down.
Sergeant Zach Robinson came under fire.
Send everybody.
From a gunman targeting him, police say because he was law enforcement.
When I rounded the back of the vehicle involved in the car accident, that's when I saw everybody on the ground.
The gunman killed 23-year-old police officer Jake Wallin and wounded 2 other officers.
Now, when I see this kind of thing, I look at a picture like this and I think, yeah, but how many people has Officer Jake, terrorized in his life? How many people has he harassed? How many rights has he trampled? How many people are sitting in prison, innocent people, because of Officer Jake? How many reports has this guy lied on? And why is he considered today to be a hero?
23-year-old police officer Jake Wallin and wounded 2 other officers. Officer Andrew Dotis was shot 7 times in the chest, hip, and stomach.
I remember getting hit and dropping down to the ground. And then I specifically remember trying to get back up. It felt like kind of an explosion in my chest.
In 2023, Andrew Dotis was one of 138 officers shot in ambush-style attacks against law enforcement.
Ambush-style attacks.
Ambush-style attacks.
Now, why would anybody ambush a police officer? Let me just ask you this. What if, as a pattern of my life, I went around lying in wait, harassing, threatening, robbing, and ambushing people simply because the policy of my company said I could? And then when I did harass, threaten, rob, and abuse people, the boss of my company just protected me whenever I did that. What would be the general opinion of the public about somebody like me? How would you feel about me? What would you want to do to me? Would you consider me a hero? Or would some of you out there really start ruminating about contents of the Bill of Rights, specifically in this Second Amendment direction?
2023, Andrew Dotis was one of 138 officers shot in ambush-style attacks against law enforcement. It's the highest number on record.
According to the FBI, an ambush is when a criminal either lures law enforcement or specifically targets them.
When a criminal lures law enforcement or specifically targets them. When a cop lures a member of the public and specifically targets them. Is there really a vast difference between those two?
Actually, this planned attack.
The FBI's Kevin Harris trains local law enforcement in officer safety. Harris told us,
trains them in officer safety.
Trains local law enforcement in officer safety.
I mean, of all the things they could have said, trains them in constitutional rights, sensitizes them to how important it is to protect members of the public. No, they got to focus on officer safety. Gosh, I wonder why there's so many ambushes, and I wonder why they're on the increase. The name of this video right here is Police Officers Nationwide Face Growing Threat of Ambush Shootings.
They're researching the increase, but they can't yet explain why it's happening.
You have to have your head almost on a...
They can't explain. gosh, I don't know why it's happening. I mean, we're threatening the public. They should like that. We're robbing the public. We're exercising tyranny against them. We're economically terrorizing them. We're jailing people for plant matter and for minor traffic violations. And we're trying to force people out of their IDs, making them insecure in their person. I can't figure for the life of me why they're ambushing us. Can anybody figure this out there? Back to the officer safety issue.
Investigators in Fargo say the gunman was heavily armed and had explosives when he spotted officers working the traffic crash.
They say that the cop was heavily armed when he was fishing during that traffic stop.
He stalked them for 15 minutes before...
He stalked them for 15 minutes behind the billboard with his radar detector.
Opening fire. Then
kind of like the cops opened fire on us indiscriminately in all directions without regard for human life.
Sergeant Robinson, whose body cam captured the ambush, killed the gunman in the firefight. You were being heralded, though, as a hero. I mean, you shot the gunman.
Yep.
Is that a title you accept?
No. I feel like, if anybody else put in that situation, they're going to try to do the same thing.
If anybody else was trying to fire at my fellow road pirates, I'm sure they would do the same thing. So please, don't consider me a hero or anything. See this thin blue line? That speaks volumes, lady.
After 9 surgeries and nearly a month in the hospital, Officer Dotis walked out the door and put back on his uniform. Today, he wears a bracelet to commemorate Officer Walean.
Those officers gave the ultimate sacrifice, and I think any police officer, if you would ask them, would be willing to put themselves on that line. That's why we do the job.
Doctors told Officer Dotis he may never put back on the uniform and that it could be difficult for him and his wife to have another child given the trauma his body went through. But we're excited to report that his wife, Hannah, is 8 months pregnant and they're expecting a little baby girl any day now, John.
And we hope she doesn't become a pigtail cop following in the steps of her daddy. But wait, there's more. Check this out. Feast your eyes on some of these incredible comments. It's almost like you guys wrote them. The idea that armed people could be lying in wait at random locations must be pretty terrifying. Welcome to the club. 2 replies under this. It'll just be another excuse for these cowards they'll call law enforcement to continue waging war on the public. People's eyes are being opened, and one of the reasons for that is because a lot of you guys out there in your activism and exposing cops with your cameras. Like the police being armed, lying in wait at random locations. Yeah, I feel you on that. That's exactly what he meant. If cops don't like being ambushed, maybe they shouldn't be killing unarmed people, assaulting people over traffic violations, and actually follow the law. Hell, maybe cops could just read the Constitution and provide citizens the rights it guarantees. Maybe they could learn the laws. This guy just comes out against him because it's supposed to be the nature of the job. That's the job. Don't be a cop if you don't want to get shot. What did you think protect the peace meant? Where's the peace you were supposed to protect? Imagine if someone joined the army and complained about being in danger. Maybe don't start. Guess corrupt cops are putting good cops in danger. And brute cops and their tactics. They're all dirty. They still haven't got the memo that everybody has a camera in their hands at all times. And this guy says, still more dangerous to be a pizza delivery driver, end qualified immunity, and demand that our constitutional rights be respected. I'm a federal law enforcement officer. A lot of this is self-inflicted. Who wants to live in a police state? Get rid of qualified immunity, corrupt police unions, and then maybe the public will show more respect toward them. This guy reminds us, remember, we have the 2A. The same people who see Ruby Ridge and ask, why don't people trust law enforcement? This one says, but those guys were federal law enforcement agents. The one they're talking about were local. I love what this guy says. No distinction. Law enforcement is law enforcement. This guy says there's a huge distinction. The F you talking about? I know the distinction because I was an MP genius, but the average citizen sees guns, uniforms, and armored vehicles. You don't have to have armored vehicles to exact tyranny and a police state on the rest of us. They have earned the hate. Stop committing crimes against the public. Stop lying. Stop dragging people out of their cars. Follow the law and accept equal punishment when you break it. Love this guy's comment. The fact that people can't understand why this is happening is astounding. Y'all over-police the public and run around with egos the size of Texas while violating our rights. We need cops with less corruption, less revenue-driven policing, better training, better pay, I don't think so, and stiffer penalties for civil rights violations. No more slaps on the wrist for blatant violations. 90% of their interactions with the public are negative, and they wonder why people can't stand them. Lots of evil cops to dispel that few bad apples myth. I imagine plenty of people seek revenge for the things that they do. Attacks like this aren't random. That's absurd. My guess why it's happening is the increased militarization of law enforcement, their shoot first, ask questions never attitude, and how they overreact to everything. These things tend to make folks feel unsafe, and they tend to take measures to remedy that feeling. But that's just my guess. They 100% deserve it. Abolish qualified immunity and charge them when they're caught lying and breaking the law. They brought this on themselves. Very little sympathy in the comment section for cops and this CBS propaganda program. Don't know why it's happening? It's simple. Every single time they let the police be the judge of actions for other police, and they just give that one bad apple a slap on the wrist for being overly aggressive or just straight up doing wrong, it creates a villain. So much ego policing over law enforcement. That badge makes so many cops feel big and bad, like they're untouchable. Because of the way their fellow officers treat the public, we are sick and tired of the abuse, and some people are fighting back. And the last one, and there are many, many more, they can't explain why it's happening. That's a joke and part of the problem. So according to this CBS News propaganda program, and that's exactly what it is, a program geared toward propagandizing the masses, police officers nationwide are facing a growing threat of being ambushed. Do you really think they wonder why? Are they that deeply cemented in cognitive dissonance that they really don't know what's going on? Personally, I think people are starting to wake up and they're sick of how cops are treating them. Leave your thoughts about this for the world and the global thought police in the comments section below. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, hit the bell notification icon, give it a thumbs up, share it with everybody you know. Don't forget to subscribe to my email list through my website, highimpactflix.com. If you want to support the channel further, grab a shirt, check out the links that are in the description. But more importantly, understand that freedom is dangerous, it's scary, it's unpredictable. But the thing that's more dangerous, scary, and unpredictable is not having freedom. And these tyrants are working tirelessly to take those freedoms away. I'll see you in the next video.